going to be an interesting afternoon. You'll either love it or hate it, but even if you hate it, it is going to be useful. Our subject today is the link between economic and business success and diversity. Diversity in the workplace. Now, I am, as a gay man, interested to observe that the most powerful and successful piece of real estate in the world economically, Silicon Valley, the one that has generated more value in the last 40 years than any other similar-sized piece of the earth, is next to San Francisco, which is the most gay-friendly place on the planet. Is that a coincidence, ladies and gentlemen? I do not think so.
I'd like to get all of the representatives of all the affinity groups across the city together. I want to tear down the walls of thinking about how we can make things happen. And I'd like to do it by having a debate, and then I'd like to produce a manifesto. What I've discovered is, whichever affinity group one belongs to, if indeed one does belong to one, they tend to be self-serving in the sense of introverted, talking to each other. You have to grab time away from your day job to do things. You don't have a large budget within the organization. And if you're allowed to get out as an affinity group, then what you get to do is to meet similar affinity groups. So it might be ethnic, it might be gender, whatever it happens to be. And so the issues are broadly the same. And to the best of our knowledge, we've never brought together in the city representatives of affinity groups across the piece, so we can find common cause and deal with the issues that we feel are standing in the way of talent rising, the name of today's conference. I don't like people sitting around feeling sorry for themselves, saying that being held back is something to do with the colour of their skin in this particular case, but something about themselves that they can't change. What I like is people saying, you know what, damn it, I can't change the things I can't change, I'll change the things I can change, and I want to change things in the organisation. Here we are in the heart of the city establishment, and we get the chance to tear down some of the things that are barriers in the city establishment and make this a better place for all in the UK.
I have to say that if you look at the definition in the dictionary of audacity, it's boldness or daring, especially with disregard for conventional thought or other restrictions. Good word. And you can't argue with the facts. You know, women on the FTSE 100 boards recently topped 20% for the first time. That was regarded as a huge achievement. But around them, 25% are non-executives. But if you look at the number of female in executive roles, the top executive roles, well, only 7.2%, which you would not expect in the 21st century.
How many of you, I'm going to just do a little show of hands here. The world basically divides into people who are optimistic, who see the glass as half full, and people who are pessimistic and think the glass is half empty. How many of you would describe yourself as by nature optimistic? And how many of you would describe yourself as on the more pessimistic, glass half empty side? Wow. We lack diversity in this forum.